We love our superheroes. We love them even more when they team up with one another, because two is always better than one, right? Thanks to Marvel's cinematic universe, our favorite characters have so many opportunities to pair up that we needed to start a list to keep track. Before we get started, remember to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you never miss out on awesome videos from CBR. Black Widow and Valkyrie. For all of Marvel's outstanding successes, and there have been many, they are not above criticisms. We aren't talking the kind of criticism where people are upset Thor wears his shirt too much. The more prevalent and well-deserved criticism is that Marvel has yet to address, in any meaningful way, its lack of female superheroes. Yes, Marvel is slated to release solo films in the future, but it's taken far too long to happen. It really doesn't make much sense that Black Widow, one of the most popular members of the Avengers, still doesn't have a solo film. While we hope for a Black Widow film and wait for the upcoming Captain Marvel film, hopefully the series will take opportunities to represent their female characters better. One promising new addition to the universe is Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie. We've been promised she'll be depicted as an equal to Thor, and it's even been rumored that she could have a very big role in the MCU going forward. Despite having several other prominent female characters, the MCU hasn't allowed any of them to share a scene in any meaningful way.
This is gonna end well.
Being able to see two heroes who hold their own in the male-dominated world together, be it simply sharing a conversation or kicking butt together, would be a big step in the right direction.
Did I step on your moment?
Vision and Drax. Part of all the fun of seeing all these characters come together is to see interesting pairings that seem completely out of the Marvel comic or cinematic universe. Imagine a world where Vision and Drax are brought together. Maybe it's during the Infinity Wars when the Guardians of the Galaxy pair up with the Avengers to stop Thanos. It's hard to say what would make it so entertaining to watch these two interact, but we could watch a whole movie about it. Maybe it's because Vision and Drax are both such unique personalities that they seem both compatible and yet combative at the same time.
Our very strength invites challenge. Challenge incites.
You're an imbecile.
We could easily see them being completely annoyed with one another. Drax would hate Vision's rational, even tempered persona, while Vision would likely find Drax to be loud and crass. On the other hand, they both have sort of a naive, straightforward manner about them that could just click. There might be other characters who may be more explosive on screen together, but having such a short-tempered maniac paired with a calculating machine could make for some hilarious moments. If only Vision could convince Drax to wear one of those fancy sweaters, preferably a yellow turtleneck, because hey, why not? Hank Pym and Tony Stark. Though Hank Pym and Tony Stark fight on the same side, sometimes it's interesting to see the uneasy, even tense relationships between heroes on the same team. The first Avengers film very much dealt with the dysfunctional team dynamic, and Captain America: Civil War emphasized the different ideals within the team. Seeing the good guys butt heads can be fun, and we're sure to see some tension if Hank Pym and Tony Stark ever meet. In Ant-Man, it was established that Pym's working relationship with Howard Stark did not end amicably.
The Pym particle is the most revolutionary science ever developed. Help us put it to good use.
Let you turn me into your errand boy.
And he even went so far as to tell Scott Lang he doesn't trust the Starks. We could see the two forced into a working relationship together, which would surely result in some great moments.
Apparently, I'm volatile, self-obsessed.
You're full of
language.
They could remain antagonistic towards each other, or perhaps they would bond over a shared passion for science, like Stark and Banner. Michael Douglas hasn't had much to do as Pym except spout exposition, so sharing a scene with a great scene partner like Robert Downey Jr. would give them both a chance to have some fun. Groot and Hulk. What's one of the most exciting things about Marvel? Marvel has a crazy amount of amazing superheroes and teams, with backlogs of storylines that the crossover potential is limitless. With Marvel, anything can happen, which is why every movie is so exciting to watch. Part of the fun of the Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy finally coming together is the unpredictability of their relationship. We can safely assume that before the credits roll, the two groups of heroes will be joining forces.
Oh, yeah.
Is it crazy to think they'll come to blows at some point? If that does happen, one battle fans would be drooling over is surely Groot versus Hulk. Vin Diesel has hinted that this could possibly happen somewhere down the line, and you have to think Marvel would jump at the chance to pit these two destructive giants against each other. We can just picture them roaring as they trade blows and throw each other around, and once they settle their differences, how amazing would it be to see them taking on an army of baddies together? Of course, by the time they meet up, Groot still might not have grown to full size. It would almost be more entertaining to see Hulk and baby Groot wrecking havoc together. Vulture and Iron Man. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is so on fire that A-list actors are banging at the studio doors to get a role in the films. It is a real testament to the caliber of films being produced that so many people want in.
No! Open the door! Please!
This clamoring by actors also means the potential for new combinations of characters on screen. Spider-Man Homecoming has one of the most anticipated pairings to date. Fans were pretty excited when it was announced that Robert Downey Jr. would return as Tony Stark in Spider-Man's first solo film in the MCU, Spider-Man Homecoming. Perhaps even more exciting was the news that Michael Keaton would be playing the villainous Vulture, Adrian Toomes. Having an iconic Batman actor joining the MCU is cool, but the real treat comes at the possibility of seeing Keaton and Downey Jr. square off. Sure, an aerial battle between Iron Man and Vulture would be cool. What would be even better? A scene where the two can have some fun with the costumes off. These two are such great actors and they've never shared the screen together. Plus, the movie seems to be setting some personal conflict between their characters. Watching them come face to face trying to one-up each other would be enough action by itself.
Come on! Let's get nuts.
You seem a little defensive.
Captain America and Captain Marvel. We can all agree that the 2008 release of Iron Man ushered in the modern Marvel Cinematic Universe. The film established Tony Stark as a dominant and most recognizable character of the entire Marvel franchises.
I am Iron Man.
We think someone is close on Tony's iron heels. Can you guess who? Captain America has come to rival Tony's level and capture the hearts of fans and franchise.
Give me a break!
Alas, Steve Rogers can't stick around forever, even if we cryogenically freeze him again. Fans and critics have speculated with the impending Infinity Wars, Captain America will meet his end battling Thanos.
I could do this all day.
The Avengers will need a new leader soon, and who better to take up the position than a fellow captain? Rumors say that Brie Larson's Captain Marvel will make her debut in Avengers Infinity War, and she's likely to become a very integral part of the universe very quickly. Having Captain America be the one to welcome her to the team would be a great way of establishing a role. Is the universe big enough for two captains? Chris Evans has really grown into the role of Steve Rogers, creating a truly iconic role. Seeing him paired with an actor of Larson's caliber could make for some of the most powerful and moving scenes in a Marvel film. Any Avenger and Any Defender. Yes, we know this may be asking for too much, we know, which is why we're willing to take any combination of Avenger and Defender the universe is willing to give us. Anyone at Marvel will tell you that the odds of the TV shows crossing over to the movies anytime soon is virtually zero, and yet we can still hope, can't we? Sure, there are difficulties with incorporating the Defenders into the movie world, like the drastic differences in tone and subject matter, but why make these worlds connected if you're not going to do anything with them?
Well, you're not wrong.
We get little references here and there, but just hearing Luke Cage or Daredevil talking about the incident isn't as thrilling as it was the first time. Spider-Man operates in New York, but we can't get a little appearance from one of the Defenders, even a cameo. No more than a few seconds long would give the fans a reason to cheer. The movies can pretend Iron Fist doesn't exist if that makes it easier, but let one of the street-level heroes appear. We're not likely to get our wish in Phase 3 of the MCU, but we have to get the team up eventually, right? Right? The Collector and Thanos. Thanos is about to become a real thing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and not just some floating dude sitting in a chair. He needs to make a move to start collecting those Infinity Stones.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
When Thanos starts grabbing up stones, the path is going to take him straight to the Collector. Part of the fun of seeing these two characters meeting up is the audience knowing who the actors are underneath all that makeup and costumes. Josh Brolin is playing Thanos, and Benicio del Toro is the Collector. These are two stellar actors with impressive bodies of work behind them, and who have shared the screen several times before. Chances are they never imagined they'd be sharing the screen like this. While they're given some great dramatic performances over the years, sometimes it's fun to watch serious actors have a ball with really out-there roles. We've yet to see much of what Brolin will be bringing to the role of Thanos, but Del Toro seemed to relish his over-the-top role in Guardians of the Galaxy. It's hard to say if these two would team up or if Thanos would just wipe out the Collector and take the stone, but whichever way it goes, it's bound to be fun. And Starlord. One of the many factors that sets the Marvel Cinematic Universe apart from its competition is their use of humor. Rival films produced by DC Comics tend to be dark, brooding, and leaves the audience feeling emotionally wrung out.
No one stays good in this world.
Marvel, on the other hand, works very hard to develop fun, engaging scenes that blend action with great comedic moments.
Sir! I'm gonna have to ask you to exit the donut.
Part of what makes them so funny is the actors they use. Two of the funniest actors in the MCU are definitely Chris Pratt and Paul Rudd. Audiences have known these two to be hilarious in other projects. They even appeared on the same sitcom, Parks and Recreation, and Marvel was wise enough to let them bring some of their own brand of comedy to their respective superhero roles. Both men can pull off being cool, tough guys, but they aren't afraid to make fools of themselves. Tony Stark's humor comes from his cocky one-liners.
No hard feelings, Point Break. You got a mean swing.
But Pratt and Rudd are more lovable goofs.
I'm a big fan. Appreciate it. So who the hell are you? I'm Ant-Man.
Bring it down hard.
It's hard to say if the two actors will get a chance to come together, but Marvel should certainly take advantage of having two such gifted comedians. You just know they would have fantastic chemistry together and could produce some of the funniest moments in the movie. Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. Doctor Strange is technically credited with bringing the use of magic to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though they do not technically call it magic. What about Scarlet Witch? While her powers are not from enhanced technology or genetics, could her abilities be considered magic too? In the comics, it's magic. Yes, she's technically an enhanced person, MCU talk for mutant, but her powers certainly share a connection with mysticism. Without having any confirmation, it's a pretty safe bet that these two will eventually share the screen somehow. Given that they're the only heroes with their types of powers, you'd have to assume that they would have a lot to talk about. Captain America: Civil War set up the idea that Scarlet Witch is still learning to control her powers, so maybe Doctor Strange could serve as a mentor of sorts to her, helping her realize her true potential. We might even see Scarlet Witch join Doctor Strange in his own solo films. Really, the most exciting part of these two meeting up would be seeing them fight side by side. You can almost picture it, like a splash page from the comic. These two sorcerers casting spells together and fighting back against Thanos' goons. That would make quite a few fans cheer. Are you as pumped up as we are about all these potential crossovers? We know there are so many combinations out there swirling in your imaginations. Let us know in the comments below which duo you would want to see team up on the screen. As always, if you enjoyed this video, remember to like and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe to CBR so you can get more superhero videos in your inbox daily.